Hello again. I just wanted to hop on here to make another video. This video is going to kind of be two parts, so I'm going to have to edit it later, as this is like my pre-run warm-up walk, and then I'll have a recovery at the very end in about 40 minutes of a, post-run recovery. Today's a little bit different of a day because obviously I had a class get canceled and the weather's beautiful outside, which has not been a thing for a long time. So that's very nice. So as you can see, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt and it's wonderful out. It is a little windy, so I hope the audio does not get absolutely thrashed by the wind, but if it does, so be it. Such is life, nothing I can do. So today is Tuesday, February 25th. In today's video, I would like to talk about soulmates. So if you know me, which I guess I know me, I am quite the loud and proud lover, I would say, right? I love loudly, I exist proudly. I could go on and on and on and on about soulmates for 20 hours, right? But obviously, this being a YouTube video, it will be quite condensed into, quite short of a time. So the thing that I wanted to start off with, as I've been doing in these videos usually, is a quote that I saw that kind of wanted me to get to talk about this. So the quote that I saw, and I'm going to kind of butcher this quote, is the hours in the day that we have together as lovers or friends is very limited. So I hope that at some point we can essentially slow down and just see each other, right? Because life hinders us seeing each other. That's a unfortunate part about life, is that we're hindered from seeing each other. And at the end of the quote, the author says, "I hope that you can leave your scarf behind and come back for it, so that I could see you just once more before we do our own thing." And I think in what the author is really trying to capture here is, I just want someone, I want to be so deeply connected with someone that we've essentially made our own world together, right? And I mean, I've had this before, right? Because I think that the notion of soulmates is very, very pop culture. Oh, you're gonna go somewhere and meet someone and it's gonna be love at first sight, and that is your soulmate, and that's the person you're meant to be with. And if you're not with them, then I guess you're screwed, right? And I think that's a very romanticized version of love, because I mean, for God's sake, look at the statistics. 54% of marriages end. So if you're saying the soulmate is the person that you meet, you fall in love with, and you're supposed to spend forever with, then I would beg the question, does over half of us just never find a soulmate? Is that what it is? And I can't imagine that that's the case, right? I guess I take a very much more realistic view of soulmates, and I say, my soulmate is the person that I'm choosing to be with, right? They are choosing to be with me. So, once you get past this stage of love, right? Because your first initial stage of love is where you're like legitimately chemically bonding to each other. That's what people refer to as the honeymoon phase. Once you're chemically bonded to each other, though, I would say that the rest of it is just a choice, right? It's a choice for me to stay in your life. It's a choice for you to stay in my life. So in that aspect, I think you are actually making your soulmate just as much as you're being made someone else's. And I think this concept is hard because I obviously could not tell you why. I cannot tell you why humans choose who they do. I cannot tell you why I chose who I did, or why I'll choose someone in the future and why they choose me. I couldn't tell you. I have no capacity to predict who the soulmate will be, right? I don't think anyone does. Which is odd, because you'd say, well, Evan, you just said I make my soulmate. I don't meet my soulmate. But I'd say, for me at least, if you're not assuming every long-term relationship is the one, then I would ask the question why you're getting into long-term relationships in the first place, or any relationship for that matter. Because in my mind, I get into a relationship with the idea that this is an awesome person. Me and this person have joint experience together. I can be with this person and escape the world, right? That's my idea of a soulmate. It doesn't matter how I feel or what day I've been having. I come to you, you look at me, you don't even say anything, and I know it's just gonna be okay. Whatever I'm feeling, it's okay. Happy, sad, mad, angry, depressed. It's okay. Because I'm with that person. And likewise, they would feel the same about me, right? Now, obviously, this is something that forms over time. This is not a quick one and done thing where I meet you in a week, we've known each other for a month, I ask you out, we go out, and all of a sudden we feel the instant click and connection. I don't think that's how it works at all. This is a process, a month to month, year to year process of rediscovering who my partner is and what they are, right? And I feel like I can talk about this because I came from a place where I would have said, the last person I was with was a soulmate. I think she would have said the same thing, right? We would say to each other all the time. So I'm coming from the stance of, clearly that wasn't my soulmate because it didn't work out. So clearly there has to be something on the other side, right? So that's kind of part one of the video. I will pick up part two after my run. So, okay, here I am, part two, post-run. So that was supposed to be an easy run, and my condition I already felt was quite poor going into it, but holy hell, that kicked my ass. They always say about running, just like a book, you don't judge it by its cover. You don't judge the run by its first couple kilometers. Well, I have to say the whole 6 or 7 kilometers was kind of shit, but that is okay nonetheless, because I finished, I didn't stop, and I got to be outside, and it's a beautiful day. Got to hear the birds chirp, so I can't complain too much. I also got the mileage in, so that's all good news. So hopefully my condition will be better tomorrow, as I have another run tomorrow, another run Thursday, and obviously another run Sunday. So hopefully the condition improves, and hopefully I get some recovery. I need to get more sleep. I've been staying up way too late. That's part of the problem. But, oh well. Alright, so back to the video. So I believe I ended it talking something about soulmates. Obviously I read the quote. I did all that. And I think while I was running, I was thinking about, my goals for 2025, what I set out for myself. Obviously, a major goal was to make new friends, and over the past 2 months, I've met a lot of people, I've made a lot of friends. I consistently hang out with people now, actually, which is quite nice. Obviously, another goal was to try and get a girlfriend. And I think what I was talking about with soulmate is it's someone that you choose, someone you make, all that good stuff. Well, I'd prefer the person that I hopefully date this year, whether it's now or in months from now or not at all. But I prefer they're around my age. I feel like a lot of people I've been meeting are quite older than me. They're 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, maybe some 25-year-olds. I think I've maybe met I don't know, 1 or 2 people my age, maybe. And yeah, I mean, I'd prefer my partner right now to be someone my age, but I think the problem with me is, I think when you're asking people out, and this is wildly off topic, but this is something that came to mind on the run. I obviously want to ask someone out my age, but it's kind of conflicting for me because I just started meeting all these people. I just started hanging out with all these people, and I would hate for it to be ruined by me rushing to try to get with them or ask them out or want to date them. Because as much as we don't want it to be awkward, it definitely is awkward if, we just met, you're 23, I ask you out, and you say no. Are you good? You say no, then that's obviously going to be super unpleasant for the both of us, right? And likely what it would do is we would just not be friends anymore. I mean, that's completely fine. I think that's the line in the sand and a boundary for the majority of people, right? Like, this person has a crush on me, I don't feel the same way. Or this person likes me, I don't feel the same way, so I will just not see them if I don't have to. I think that's pretty standard. So that's why it's a little conflicting for me, because I want to, go on dates with people my age, date someone my age, but it's hard to meet people my age, and then it's obviously the whole idea of, well, I meet you, maybe you don't feel the same way that I feel, or you're not open to dating someone, and, it kind of gets ruined a little bit. Pause, I just want to show this, it's very cool. That's like an ice river, that's very nice. So, I don't know. Maybe that's me overthinking the situation a little bit, and maybe that's not actually how it is. But to me, that's kind of how it would be. Like, it's hard to keep seeing someone knowing that they feel a specific way about you, and you don't feel the same way, right? Because it does feel like you're leading them on a little bit of a sense, right? Like, oh yes, I know you love me, or I know you really like me, but I don't feel the same way, but let's keep seeing each other, let's keep hanging out, right? It just feels a little shitty, I would say. Which I think is a general consensus among a lot of people, I would say. So I guess on that accord, it's like, my goal in 2025 is to date somebody. It is to bond with them, and maybe we'll be each other's soulmates. And I think I'm to that age where it's realistic to assume that the person that you're with should be the person that you're going to be with for a long time. I think that's very reasonable. So, I don't know. I guess part of it is I need to take the leap of faith, for sure. I need to take the leap of faith, for sure. But also, I don't know. I guess it's always hard, like I said, with dating people and initially dating them, because it's hard to know what a person is thinking, because most people outwardly are not showing interest in me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe they do, and maybe I don't see it, and maybe they do to other people, and, I don't know. I just feel like no one's straightforward. I mean, it's hard for me to be straightforward, too, because, like I said, I don't want it to be awkward. But I'd hope that, if there is the person out there that's ideally supposed to be my soulmate, that there would be some sort of sign, right? Like, it would feel almost natural to be together. It would feel like I wouldn't have to question myself, like, do I ask this person out, or do I go out with them, or what if they say no? Like, it'd be one of those things where it just feels normal, right? I think, like, with the last relationship I had, it just felt so natural to be together. It was almost like it was meant to be, right? It was something that was meant to happen in the world, and we were meant to find each other. And I, in a previous video, I talked about the Chinese theory of strings, of the red string. Like, we were meant to meet each other, and that's what it felt like, right? It was just like, for whatever reason, in that span of 4 years, we were meant to find each other, we were meant to be together, and then we were meant to not be together. And throughout the whole experience, we could wildly learn about ourselves and do new things and be each other's first and all this shit. And, I think part of that was preparing me for the real deal, right? And I believe that was the real deal, 100% was. But I believe that it wasn't my soulmate. It wasn't the person I was supposed to be with. Maybe it was we were each other's intermediary. And maybe in our past lives we were soulmates, but we were each other's intermediary to find that person, right? And I mean, like I've mentioned in other videos, she's obviously dating other people, and I want to date other people. So, I think it's one of those beautiful things where it's like, I got to have someone who I think we deemed each other as soulmates, and in reality we weren't, and that's fine. But then I got to heal from that person and let go, and they got to let go of me, and we each got to go out and do our own thing. And obviously she found someone that I think she really likes, and I'm still a little behind the game and haven't found that yet, and that's okay. Because I know that they're out there. But I guess the whole point of this is I just wish there was a sign that I'd know that this was meant to be. And I didn't feel conflicted, right? I always felt like with her there was no sense of confliction at all, right? It was like, I don't know. It was just so natural, so beautiful. And I know that'll happen again. I know it will. Because I know that, maybe I have met my soulmate and I just don't know it. And maybe I'm not ready. I don't know. There's no answer. Because I feel like generally with these things, you speak this out into existence. And I think I am ready. But there's no timeline for which I've found this person already or find them, right? There's no timeline, right? And I've tried to not just, get with anyone or rush into something or do anything. And that's been intentional. It's very intentional, right? I'm against just talking to people, talking to multiple people with the intent to date multiple people. So I've kept it very closed off, right? It's not like I'm engaging in romantics with anyone right now, right? And that's intentional because I want to be ready for when the right one does come and when there is a sign and when it is I choose you and you choose me, right? So I think that's very normal. And I really do think the person is out there, and I really do think I'm ready. But obviously, again, there's no timeline to finding them. But I hope when I do find them, I am ready. And I really hope as maybe a note to them. I just really want someone to love me as loud as I love them, right? Going back to the last video, I don't want someone to be nonchalant about me and not care. I want a life partner, right? I want someone who I can be with and enter into that new world and feel amazing. That's really, really the goal here. And, maybe I'm closer than I think. Maybe I'm closer than I know. And like I said, maybe I already met this person, or maybe I have not. I don't know. There's no way. That's the funny thing about life. Sometimes you question everything, and all of a sudden, everything falls into place. It's a very interesting thing. So, yeah. I hope at some point I can look back at this and, maybe with the person and say, Soulmate Part 2, I've met this person. Here's all the amazing things that we've done. That was awesome. Right? That's obviously the end goal for me, I think. And I think it's a very reasonable goal. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on here. And I think it's important to talk about your soulmate. And I think it's important to recognize that that person probably isn't perfect, but that's because you aren't perfect either. But when you meet them, you really have to take advantage of the time that you have with them. And you really have to jump on the horn while you have it, right? You can't mess around with stuff like that. And I think it's very negative to mess around with stuff like that. And I hope the person that I end up meeting, or if I've met them already, that they love loudly, they make themselves apparent, and they don't shy away from being a good person and a good lover, and I won't shy away either. So yeah, this is video number 9, I think. Obviously, I'm going to title this one Soulmates. It's going to be uploaded today, actually, because I do have a little break, and it's only... Let's see. It's only 12:17, so I still have 2 hours almost to do whatever I want. So that's nice. So I think that in the next video, I want to talk about maybe art or something else. I haven't quite decided yet, but obviously have my idea journal, and I've written a lot of stuff down. So I think that's important. And I think, just to wrap back to the beginning, I hope that my future soulmate recognizes that the hours in the day that we have together and the hours in life that we have together are limited, right? It does end at some point. Whether it ends via death, via whatever. One, I guess I don't believe in divorce, so it would have to be via death. Unless you're like a cheater, I guess. But I guess you aren't my soulmate if you're cheating on me. That's pretty shitty. But the hours in the day are limited. I hope that you do dwell in my life just a little longer. And I hope that you leave the scarf by the door so that you can come back and get it. This is Evan signing off.